It's Hot 97, number one for hip hop. It's TT Torres, and it's a Friday night takeover with Bobby Trends and our special guest, Fireboy DML is in the building. How are you?
I'm good. I feel
Welcome to Hot
blessed.
97.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
So I have to ask your name. I saw somewhere online that DML it stands for like your government name. Is that correct? Or
Yeah, that's my first name. Damola. It's an
Damola.
acronym of my first name.
wow,
Yeah.
I love it. And Fireboy is kind of how'd you come up with that?
It was something a friend called me one time. It just had a nice ring to it. I was like, you know what, let me just add it to DML. Because DML alone was just kind of weird. I Googled it one time and then what came up wasn't nice. It was like some computer terminology. It was like data manipulation language or something. I was like, nah, I don't want this for myself. So I added Fireboy to it, to give it a nice ring.
Yeah, I love it. Well, you have a big record here in the United States. How has that been for you?
Feel proud, elated. I'm overjoyed. It means a lot for Afrobeats, and having my song doing this for Afrobeats is a thing of pride.
Yeah. Now tell me about just your background in general and how you grew up, because I feel like I'm just getting to know you, and I want to know more about you as a person.
Well, I grew up in a very sleepy town, in Nigeria. It's called Abeokuta, Ogun State.
Uh huh.
I wasn't much of an outdoors kid. I was, mostly in my room, writing dark poems, writing imaginary love letters to imaginary girls.
Oh, so
Something
you're a
like
lover
that.
boy.
Not exactly. But yeah, I mean, the teenage years were like kind of like weird. I was just like, I spent most of my time alone. So listening to music, solitude kind of gave me like a reason to find my gifts, and then, I realized I could sing. I realized I was good with words, and it kind of boosted my confidence, moving forward in life. So it was when I went to uni that I started living life as a man. As a matter of fact, I started meeting people, connecting, and that was when music found me.
Yeah.
I was rolling with the cool kids in uni, and then they took me to the studio one day, and I made my first song.
Yeah.
And I got back to my dorm room, listened to it, and I knew I'd found purpose when I heard the song.
What was your major in college? Was it
I studied
music?
English.
English, okay. Because I have a friend who's very close to me, and he's Nigerian as well, and he always tells me that his family is very much into education, like very much like focus on your education and very disciplined in that space. Was your family okay with you doing music?
Yeah, to be honest, yeah, your friend is right. It's pretty much like that in most African homes. I think for some reason our parents just have that mentality that you have to go to school and find a job. The regular stuff. To
Yeah.
have. I think it gives them a sense of stability to know that the kid has some sense of stability. Gives them an assurance that okay, this boy is not going to be like just on the streets doing
Yes.
random stuff, but they're getting with the times. And it was like that with my parents too. My mom is a softie, so immediately I told her what I wanted to do. She got with the program, but my dad was a tough nut to crack. But then music gave me the audacity to tell my dad what I wanted to do with my life. I told him, you know what, I want to move to Lagos, Nigeria, and pursue my dreams. And it was like, fine, no problem. I'm still disappointed in you, but go ahead, do your thing. And then, but a couple of years later, he realized that I knew what I was doing, and he started supporting me.
Yeah. So how is it now? Okay, so you have this big record. You have one of the biggest pop stars on the record, Ed Sheeran. Obviously, your family must be proud, but do they really understand the magnitude of what it's doing here in the States?
Well, they're not really internet savvy, but so they might not really understand the magnitude, but they know it's a big deal because they call me like, they said you have a big pop star on your song. His name is Ed Sheeran. That is very nice. I'm proud of you. Like, but yeah, they know it's huge, but maybe they might not know the magnitude. But from the response of my friends, my colleagues, the industry,
The industry as a
could tell-
whole.
they could tell that it's a big deal, and they're really glad.
Like you look at what WizKid has done with Essence and how that has been a breakthrough record for an African artist to be on the Billboard charts the way he has never been done before. And, they say breaking into American culture and the music is harder to break into as someone who's from a different country. But African music has always influenced American artists. You know what I'm saying? It's just but you're starting to see a tide turn, and you're starting to see a lot more of American artists now wanting to work with African artists to get that sauce and that pizzazz in their music. Have you witnessed a lot of that?
Oh yes. Right now more than ever, African music is getting more exposure. I think for some reason they've always known. It just needed that little push. And that's what we have been doing for the past 3-4 years. Collectively as a group of Afrobeat artists. Trying to push the culture, push the sound. It might seem like some individual, you know, um, achievements, but they're actually selfless. It's a selfless cause, to push the sound of your culture like to the world, and that's what we're all doing as a generation, especially this generation of artists, this new
Yeah.
generation of mine.
Yeah.
We are building up on the momentum that the OGs, have laid down.
Who would you consider the OGs that kind of paved the way?
Well, right now, Wizkid,
Was Kid, right?
Olamide, Davido, Burna Boy, I can't mention the name, Still Savage, everybody, all the OGs
Yeah.
right before us, the generation right before us.
Right.
They've done a really good job making it easy, for us to take this path to global recognition.
Yeah. And the music is just a vibe, man. It's just like, yo, whenever I'm out in my own space, I just throw on the Afrobeat playlist on Spotify and I just get into that zone, that vibe. How is it creating the music for you?
Well, Afrobeats is generally from a standpoint, it's like happy music. It's feel good music. Vibes, rhythm, percussions. You can move your body. But what makes this, we give it a tweak. In this generation, we add more lyricism into it, more intentionality into it. Diction, the melodies. It has this international, global appeal to it. And that's what we do as a generation when we're making Afrobeats music. We are not just making Afrobeats music. We're making music bought by African artists.
Like Afro life music.
Well, that's what I call my music.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not a genre. Like I'm not calling it a genre. I'm just saying it's an identity for my music because my music is different. I can't just say okay, I do Afrobeats. No, that's a lie. I do Afrobeats, but it's more like I just make music, but I'm an African artist. So whatever kind of music I make, you will know. You must know that I'm an African. So that's like very important to me, and that's why I call it Afro Life.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I wanted to kind of talk to you about today to distinguish exactly what that means for those who don't know, who may just put you in a box and say, "Oh, okay, he's an Afrobeats artist," who may not really understand the culture or the background.
For me, it's not about the sound. It's about my roots, my culture, where I come from. So even if I'm making an R&B song, the lingua, okay, this is not the typical R&B pop star I'm listening to. This is someone from somewhere. I love the song, but it's I want to know where it's from. That's the idea. To want to make people want to know where you're from and have a look at the culture and appreciate it. So that's what I'm doing. So for me, it's about my lyrics. We call it Lamba, where I'm from. Lamba means catchy phrases, that just get your attention. Those kind of things. So even when I'm making R&B, or I'm doing reggae, or I'm doing the regular American pop, you will hear my Lamba and you know it. You know it's an African.
Yeah. Is there any other genre of music that you're experiencing or experimenting with outside of what you're currently doing?
Right now, the one that is really getting everyone moving right now is Amapiano. But I don't really want to get into it yet. I'm still taking my time because I understand that it's not just Nigerian music. It's a culture too. It's more like Afrobeats. I have to know about it. I have to respect it enough to want to know the deeply rooted cultures behind it before getting into it. But I'm intrigued.
Okay.
I want to get into it sometime.
What else are you intrigued in?
Honestly, there are no certain like I just love music. When music is good, Yeah. But most times when I'm performing my music, I like to infuse, different genres in my music.
Yeah.
So I don't want to give you the same thing that you've been listening to from your AirPods or something. I want to give you a different feel. So sometimes I infuse jazz, R&B into my Afrobeats, or a different approach.
Yeah. I heard that you loved Celine Dion and Elton John. Those are some big
Yeah,
names,
my
man.
dad put me on, to those people when I was really young. So, but I latched on to Elton John myself. I think "Sacrifice" is the most profound song I've ever heard.
Wow.
And it was such a thing of pride to hear him talk about me, mention my name. That was a big moment for me.
Wow. Have you guys linked up like in person or?
Oh, not yet, but soon.
Yeah.
But I've made a Sharon, obviously. So yeah.
Yeah. Ed Sheeran could make that happen, I feel like.
Yeah, of course. We'll get into that. That's my bro right there. Like, we'll get into that.
Yeah. You got Ed Sheeran, make the call. Get him and Elton John together in the studio and do a hit record together.
Straight up. Yeah, we'll get to that.
So tell me, how did the relationship come about with you and Ed Sheeran? First of all, Ed Sheeran is a really big fan of Black music, I should say. He loves R&B. He loves our culture, and he has said this in many interviews before that he is a big fan of Black music.
Been a big fan of the culture. This is not his first time he's up and on an Afrobeat song. He's done that a couple of times. This one is just really special because it's like out there. Music brought us together. Like after the original dropped, it was making waves. It was already getting that global recognition, and I was getting a lot of offers from labels and artists that wanted to get on it for a remix. But I'm like, nah. I was holding off. I didn't know what I was waiting for, but I was like, it'll come. Yeah. So when I got a call from one of my team members that, we've been working on this for a week. I think Ed Sheeran is going to up on your song. I'm like, okay. Like, check your DMs. And I checked my DMs. He had sent me a couple of messages, told me how much he loved the song, sent me a snippet of his verse. I heard his verse. I was like, yeah, this one's got to make the remix.
Ed Sheeran sliding in your DMs. How come that just doesn't happen to me? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's part of music. That's part of music. He really loves the song. You can tell from the way he promotes it, the way he talks about it. And a few days later, we linked up in New York to shoot the video and, plan the release and release the song, and we're here.
Yeah, yeah. Did you think your song "Jealous" would have gotten as big as it did?
At the time I released it, yes, I knew I'd made a great song. I think "Jealous" is one of those songs that I just knew that, yes, this is a beautiful song. This is a song. It's not every time an artist makes a song and has that conviction. Most of the time, you just like, I don't know how it's going to be like. But "Jealous," I was kind of sure that, it was going to be an amazing song. But I didn't know it was going to be my breakout single.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was going to break me out, but I knew people would listen to it and they would love it.
Yeah. Now that you've been here in America, I should say, what is some of your favorite places outside? You can't say New York. Outside of New York, like, what is some of your favorite
New York
places?
Is my favorite city. So far. Yes, like I love Times Square. I haven't really been able to really go out that much because, to be honest, I'm a homebody. I love my space.
You like being home.
So even if I'm in a different city, I like to enjoy the energy of the city from the inside of my house.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's weird, but I kind of like,
yeah.
I enjoy it that way. But I'm looking to, go out more.
Yeah.
Now that I'm on tour, I'll get to see more places.
What other cities have you been to thus far?
I was in Rhode Island last night. I've been to San Francisco. Of course, that's where I recorded Peru. Miami, Texas. I've been to most African countries. Yeah.
But of course, none of those are better than New York. And why till we die, baby?
Get up.
So tell me what the process was like for you when you recorded your debut album, Laughter, Tears, and Goosebumps. What was that like for you?
Well, it was pretty much like, it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was planned. It wasn't like I just sat down like, I want to make a classic debut album. No, I was just in an apartment with a couple of producers in my lover boy, young boy element, just making pure music, like from the heart. I was new to the industry.
See, I was right. You are a lover boy at heart.
I was back then.
What changed you from being a lover boy? These girls.
Fame, money, growth, life. It happens along the way. You meet people and you change. And stuff.
Now so I'm hearing you're a one-woman man.
Where did you hear that from? To not believe these people.
Nah, it's hard for especially African men. Man, they don't be settling for one
What have you heard
woman.
about us? No, it's not like that. That's a stereotype.
That's a
We
stereotype.
love our women.
Mm-hmm.
We love them with all our hearts.
Okay.
When we find them.
When you find them, so you just haven't found a special lady yet.
Yeah, nah.
Okay.
Single.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to being a lover boy at the time and recording
Yeah.
the album.
Yeah,
Let's get
yeah,
back
yeah.
to Mr. Loverboy.
I was, this dreamy-eyed, wide-eyed. I was just really fascinated by everything I was, seeing in the industry. I was a bit more vulnerable at the time, so I kind of like, but I still I held off on my emotions quite a bit, But I rectified on that in my second album, following up.
What would you say is the better album for you thus far? Which one do you personally like the most?
The second one, because that was more introspective. Like I expressed myself more. That one showed who I really was at the time. Most of the love songs I wrote in the first album were stories of other people, not mine. They were true, but they were not my stories. But Apollo was very personal and introspective. So like it's always that go-to album for me.
Yeah.
When I want to listen to it in my catalog, like that's the first album I click on.
Yeah. So where do you want to go next in terms of how do you want to approach your next album? So you went through the Loverboy phase, then you had a different perspective on life once you made it and the money came, and so you went to that particular album and you had growth. Where do you see it going next, or you're just in the moment
I'm already
of
in
create?
the moment now. Like I'm already in that element, man. My third album is literally almost done. It will be out before summer. And right now, the headspace I'm in, you can hear from Peru. Like Peru is the most. It was like an afterthought. Like I just recorded the song. I was tipsy. I was in my element. It was my first time in the United States, so I was like, just like, you know what, take me. I was taking it all in. I was like, nah, no holding back, no holding off, no closed off vibes. Just experience everything as it comes, and that's the mood I'm in right now. Like I don't want to like overthink.
Yeah.
I'm naturally overthinking songwriter, a musician. When I make a song, I take like months to listen before even sending it to the team.
But that makes me happy that you're living in the moment.
Oh yes,
There's so many artists who accomplish all of this success and they're able to make it and break boundaries that they never thought they would. But then it becomes work that they don't take a moment to just say, wow, let me just live and experience what's happening to me.
Yeah, that was me 2 years ago. Like I was always overthinking, trying to protect the space I was in. I don't want to lose this fame. I don't want to lose my fans. I don't want to, But Peru was like, it was like a teaser, to give the fans while I was working on the album. I didn't expect it to be this big.
Yeah.
And the song has, taught me a lesson. Like sometimes don't overthink anything. Just live in the moment. Let the music take you wherever it wants to take you.
Yeah.
And that's what my third album is about.
Yeah.
Opening up yourself to the world, to life.
Yeah.
Sometimes just don't overthink it. Just like open up yourself. Let's see where life takes you.
Yeah.
It can't be that bad.
Just a canvas and paint it how you want to paint it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that. Is there any artist in particular though that you want to get in a studio with that maybe you haven't get to experience with as of yet?
Definitely. Right now it's Post Malone.
Oh, okay.
I love his vulnerability, despite the kind of music he makes. The kind of genre he makes. For someone who does such a genre, is so vulnerable, and I think those are the best artists. Because they reflect the thoughts of most people. Because human beings are vulnerable beings. Like, we just don't like to show it.
Yeah.
But he shows it in his music, and I do too. So I feel like we'll connect.
Okay. Post Malone, if you're watching,
I got a song for you in my album.
Hit him up. Slide in the DMs because if Ed Sheeran can do it, you can do it too, Post Malone.
Straight up.
Let's talk about your fashion. You're fashionable today. Were you always into fashion?
Yes. Well, to be honest, what really brought me into fashion was the desire to be different. Like I want to step into the room and look like not a normal person. So that kind of drove me into fashion. Like, you know what? You gotta wear stuff that normal people don't sometimes. So most of the time I dress based on my mood. I realized that.
How you feeling today in the all black?
I'm feeling like I don't want to be stressed. I'm wearing slides. I'm like, I don't want any stress in this life. It's too cold. I don't want to like that's the mood I'm in. And so yeah, I realized that if you dress based on your mood, you tend to be very fashionable. Even if you're wearing the most basic stuff, people just see you and be like, I'm not supposed to be wearing this, but it's cool. That kind of stuff. That's the kind of reaction I want. When I step in the room or step in the place.
Yeah. Okay. So you have a show in New York tonight, right?
Yes, I'm playing at the Irving Plaza.
Irving Plaza. It's an iconic place. What type of fan would you say? How would you categorize your fans?
Oh, well, the ones I know, the female fans, they are crazy. I think they are drawn to the vulnerability that my music brings. Mm-hmm. And that makes the love very special. They just see me as, oh, he understands me, that kind of thing. I think that's I try to put my shoes, and I think that's what they think of me. I think that they're right.
Yeah, I want so bad. My dream one day is for us to have a Summer Jam Africa, Summer Jam. I don't know if you know, is like one of our biggest concerts in the United States. Period. Hip hop festivals. And I want to do it in Africa so bad and just have all the amazing talent. And that's my dream one day. And
we have festivals like that.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But to take our brand and bring it there is like...
Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're almost there. It's a step-by-step process. The first thing is to take the sound.
Yeah.
The sound first, then the culture, and then everything else just follows up. So I think in the next couple of years, we just might be having what you're talking about. Yeah. Just a matter of time.
How open is... I've never been to Africa before, and I've always wanted to go and experience just the culture. For someone like myself who's never been to your country, what would you say to me? Like, what would you say like my experience would be?
I have no words. You have to experience it yourself. But I think via the sound, we are doing that. Like, we're bringing it to you with the sound. But it's nothing like you going there to experience it yourself. Africa is always like, it's always hyped up. We're always hyped up. We're always trying to energy is always like, it's crazy. It's like New York every day. New York on steroids.
So I know you recently spoke about coming to the United States for the first time. What was your perception of the United States before you actually got here?
Well, apart from what I watch in the movies, I didn't think I was ready for what I met. I whatever I had in my head, I kind of threw everything away. Like, just go there with an open mind. I told myself in the plane, like, you're gonna get here with an open mind, like your baby, getting somewhere for the first time, like, So I came here as a fresh, different human being. So like whatever thoughts I might have out of this place, due to the people I know and the movies I've watched and the books I've read, I just like mentally threw them away.
Yeah.
And I experienced the United States the way I wanted, like a fresh human being. And that's how Peru came about.
Yeah. And tell me, what was that for you? Like, where did you go first? Where did you eat at? What did you try?
It was refreshing. I think we landed in New York first. And yeah, that one kind of like set the tone.
New York.
Yeah, it set the tone because the energy is always crazy. New York reminds me of Lagos. It's a city of dreamers. Like, everyone is real. Everyone is hustling.
And there's so many cultures.
Yeah, exactly.
People from all over. You
could get inspired just by watching the street. Like, that's how Lagos is. So, like, that kind of pretty much set the tone for me. So, like, from there, we went to Miami. Went to this amazing club. It was beautiful. I saw beautiful women. And then we went to San Francisco to make music and to link with the team. And that's where everything all came together. And it just made sense to me. Yeah. And that's what gave birth to that amazing song.
Yeah. So through your eyes, tell me what type of experience you think I would have if I finally got on that plane to Africa.
Well, at first you might be overwhelmed. You will be overwhelmed. Like, there's always so much going on at a time. Like, it might be difficult to process, at first, but you get used to it.
Can you be my official tour guide? Can I call you up and be like, hey, when are you back home? To
be honest, I don't really go out. Like I said, I'm a homebody.
I know you are a homebody.
I got you. I'll try.
Okay. All right. Because I feel like we're friends now. We're connecting.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I'll take
I
you
got
to
you.
some spots here to get you that good food and roscoponos and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Let me confess, I'm very conventional when it comes to food.
Really?
I've tried to like get into the food. Yeah, and I like some, but African food is just, like, everywhere I go, like, do they have Nigerian food in this place? Like, I'm always asking. But yeah,
the great thing
it's
about
part of what
New-
I said about opening up. I'm trying to open up myself to more, but I don't like seafood. That will
Oh
never
my
change.
God, I love seafood. Who doesn't like seafood? I gotta have my shrimp because
I
all
think
I
shrimp should be
eat.
left alone in the sea.
Oh
I've
no,
seen those things.
But see, I don't eat meat. See, I don't eat like chicken
Oh, really?
and like no. I only eat seafood.
Well, you're going to be eating a lot of meat when you get to Africa.
But the great thing about New York, though, there's so many African restaurants here that you can. I don't know if it's as authentic as Africa. It's Americanized.
It's close. I mean, that's why I told you that New York is my favorite city, because I know that I will get quality Nigerian food here.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Well, listen, I want to thank you so much for stopping by today. You have been amazing.
Thank you so much.
The show is at Irving Plaza tonight. Everybody, make sure you check it out.
Shut up.
And you said the new album is going to come out in the summertime, before the summertime. But right now, everybody can stream everything that you have out right now.
Yes.
So make sure you guys hit up his social media page.
FIREBOY DML, Fireboy DML, no space, Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Fletback on Twitter.
Okay. All right, guys. Make sure you check him out. And thank you so much for stopping by. Is that your mom over there?
That's my manager.
Oh, your manager. I thought you was his mom. You know why? Because every time he said the girl, you're like, oh, my God. Like,
She do be like that sometimes.
but sometimes you got to be his mom on the road, right?
Oh, yeah.
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 That's right. Crack down on him. Exactly. Well, listen, thank you so much for stopping by. You always have a home here at Hot 97. So thank you.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Aspire Boy, DML, everybody.
Everybody.